Hello, college football fans. This is Tim May.
And I'm Clay Hall.
And this is the Clay May Report. Missed you the other day, my friend.
Yeah, I got to tell you, your 9 minutes, you took one breath. The man is prolific. You cannot stop him. He is an absolute machine. And it's all up here. At 39 years old, you really bring it.
I'm glad when I threw that lure into the water to you there with that comment, you went after it like a largemouth bass.
Thank you.
But bottom line is, we're not here to talk about me or you. We're talking Ohio State, and specifically we're talking Ohio State quarterbacks. We got to talk to Ryan Day, Lincoln Kienholz, Julian Sayin, Tavian St. Clair also, and Billy Fesler, the quarterbacks coach, after practice here on the 5th practice of Ohio State's preseason camp.
Yeah, we're not
headed toward the ridiculous season opener against Texas. And the answer to who the starting quarterback is,
well, I have to call this close to the vest Tuesday, because nobody was going to say anything, especially these guys vying for the starting job. I'm not sure I remember a whole lot that Julian Sayin said, other that I'm focusing on this, and this.
Yeah.
And
he's gotten bigger and stronger.
But I would say this: of one thing I would draw from.
He's in the 200s now, weight-wise. He's 6'1". You remember I asked him. I said, a lot of people think you're like 5'5". They keep talking, basically people talking about his height. I go, no. I've been refuting that forever. I had his high school coach on the Tim May show talking about that. He's more than tall enough to be a starting quarterback, even in the National Football League, much less in the Collegiate Football League. So.
And now that at 210 pounds, said he put on some muscle. Yeah. And that's what happens when you arrive here in the body.
Yeah, plus he's kind of got that Timothy Chalamet look to him, too.
He does.
You know what I mean?
He does.
It's pretty interesting. But then you got Lincoln.
Well, I would call Lincoln Kienholz the most improved quarterback of the two.
Yeah.
Just a number of things, because when you ask, or somebody asked Billy Fesler about him, I thought Fesler lit up. Like, this is a new kid.
This is a project that's happening.
Yes. Yeah. You don't know what, because we all remember that disastrous Cotton Bowl, and he was just kind of thrown in there.
Yes.
And
to the wolves.
Just survived.
Even though they were Tigers.
Oh, it was just awful. It's just awful for him.
Worst offensive line display I've ever seen by Ohio State.
No question.
No question.
Yeah,
they couldn't.
It was ugly.
Now everything's relative. They could not figure out Missouri and what it was doing up front. And like he said, he wasn't that well versed in protections and things like that. So a lot of things cascaded into that being a
waterfall.
Whip to him. It looked like an episode of Survivor.
Yes.
He survived. Imagine throwing those survivors in there to play quarterback in a major college football game, and whoever comes out, you're the winner. But
credit to him for making this competition closer than I thought it would be.
Yeah.
He's the footwork, the release, the arm strength, everything. He has transformed himself in a way.
Yes. And the thing about him, too, is, this is what's funny. Julian Sayin was an Elite 11 star.
Yeah.
He's from Carlsbad, California. A lot of good quarterbacks have come from California.
That's right. CJ.
Lincoln Kienholz is from Pierre, South Dakota. I can't remember. Still always forget the name of his actual high school. It's Pierre.
That's it.
But it's pronounced Pierre.
Pierre.
And the bottom line is he was a 4-sport star in Pierre. And like I was asking him also, he really didn't give that big an answer. He kind of like nodded, it could be the case. But I think having that great athletic ability gives him a lot of capital when it comes to respect, from the respect factor by his fellow players here at Ohio State, because he's proven on the softball field when, the Cardale Jones softball tournament, this guy can flat play stick and ball.
He can,
And if you watch him, I've been told, if you watch him on the basketball court on the East End here of the Woody Days Athletic Center, he can flat play basketball. So, and he ran track, I think, too. But then also obviously played football.
I would love to
MVP of the state championship game. 3 years in a row?
My God,
this guy can play.
Yeah, put a lacrosse stick in his hands. I'm surprised Nick Myers didn't have him out here.
Exactly.
But Billy Fesler said about him, he's playing with an edge, and you gotta play this game at this level with such confidence and almost braggadocio, like,
Yes,
I'm the guy. I'm the guy, and I'm gonna kick your you know what.
Yeah.
But that didn't come out so much today, but maybe it has on the field. And to his credit, that's how you gain ground. That's how you get noticed. That's how you get command of the offense. That's how you get respect of your teammates. And that's what a lot of this is about, because they're so green.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Yeah. You sound like a Southern Baptist preacher, though.
I was pounding
you were pounding your Bible, which is your scribbled notes. You know,
That's right.
The Bible at one point was scribbled notes. You know, and then it evolved to what it is today. Hey, well, let's rotate.
Okay.
You know, I told people I was going to do away with this walk and talk because it made a lot of people, I guess, seasick when they watched
Really?
it. And I got to admit, it kind of made me seasick. So we're going to rotate. And then,
okay.
And then what rhymes with rotate? Rotate and then conversate.
Oh, we'll conversate.
Because I don't want to just stand still. You know me, I'm as fidgety as Barney Fife.
Oh my gosh.
But I wanted to ask you this. See, we talked about this a little bit on earlier, the Clay May report. How imperative is it in your mind for them to get to an answer of who the starting quarterback is, at least for the opening game, sooner rather than later?
Well, that's what I said last week, like 10 days to 2 weeks. I think you got to plug somebody in there, because you're not playing Grambling in week 1. You're not playing Ohio University. I know I get I used to get a lot of junk on that when I was back in the day.
Sure. Everybody did. I used to cover them a long time ago.
But we'll see if this turns out to be one of the great quarterback competitions, because you said you wanted to get into that. But, I mean, my goodness, Urban Meyer went down to the last 5 seconds in Blacksburg, didn't he? Before he said, okay, Cardell.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That was Cardell and J.T. Barrett. J.T. Barrett coming off injury.
Yep.
And Cardell Jones coming off impressing his head coach with where that offense got to in the playoffs and the championships, of like another, like, oh my God, we can throw the hell out of the ball. And then we got Zeke Elliott.
Well, think about last year, and you think about that last national championship.
Oh, yeah.
They kind of shocked the world in many ways.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, there's been many here. Stan Jackson, Joe Germain. I mean, like you said.
Dwayne Haskins, Joe Burrow in the spring.
Oh, my goodness. And
right on down the line.
And Joe went on down and won the Heisman.
Justin Fields had to fight for his job. C.J. Stroud had to fight to show he was going to be the starting quarterback. Kyle McCord had to show he's going to be the starting quarterback over Devin Brown. And that was, you know, Ryan Day has said that many times. That was almost a last day kind of decision, or last week decision, because you had to have somebody when they went to Indiana that year. So
got a name.
But now they're opening. This is Virginia Tech's about as close, maybe the Virginia Tech opener in 2015 is probably as close from the standpoint of the competition they're facing, but not anywhere close to what they're facing in this one.
In Texas.
Because you follow my drift, from a quality big time opponent in the opener. And,
I mean, if
they're laying for bear too. They beat Texas, a heartbreaker for Texas, but Texas is going to have its own starting quarterback. But my point is, I think it settles everybody down maybe that last week, we can have to know, all right, at least for the opener, this is going to be your starting quarterback.
My brother-in-law's in town. He's a UT grad, although he lives in College Station, Texas. But he's
mixed marriage.
He is some kind of worried. He's like, they beat us last year. We're going into your house. Our right tackle got hurt. This guy's down. We don't have,
Hey,
Arch has never played.
Do you think, since it's the Longhorns, you think Ohio Stadium should be nicknamed? Because we know, we're going to touch on this, all of the new changes that are being made to the game day routine. Do you think they ought to change it too, since it's the Longhorns, the Slaughterhouse? What's your take on that?
I love that. I think you should be
welcome to the Slaughterhouse.
I think you should be the week 2 bell ringer after following the great Archie Griffin.
What do you think about those changes, about ringing the victory bell when they take the field as opposed to when they come off the field being victors?
Yeah, I got to see this first. The judgment's out on that. I know they're trying to shake some things up.
Oh, yeah.
And make it more alive because of the noon starts that everybody, almost the noon starts have gotten Buckeye Nation all upset.
Of course.
And I get it. You want to lock the gates at night and work on them, and it's just completely different.
I like that line.
I mean, Baton Rouge is not quite Baton Rouge at noon. You know, it's 104 degrees. It's just, it's not the same deal. So you gotta, I don't know. You take the money, and this is what you get.
But I think what they're trying to do, they're trying to up the entertainment quotient for the fans, and even for the students involved. I mean, making Block O an even bigger entity, moving the band to the north end, which I don't really have a problem with at all.
Right.
It makes it more of an amphitheater kind of concert kind of thing, and they're going to amplify the band even much more than they have in the past with microphones, you know, and speakers, because it's got a great sound system that the stadium does now.
Yeah. Tavitl is going to be a huge part of this. Yeah.
So I think when you just sit there in a quagmire and don't move at all, because a lot of these traditions, you know, like the gold pants, that they weren't doing gold pants back in the 1890s.
Right.
That came along in the 1930s under Francis Schmidt, became a tradition. Hang On Sloopy wasn't around in the 1930s and 40s and 50s. It wasn't written until what, late 60s.
I'll tell you, those gold pants that Matt Finkus and Jim Lachey pass out, they're ready to get back to that business.
Well, yeah, they've got to have a stockpile of those now. You know, they're running low on gold.
Right.
At one point, they were kind of like up in the price of gold around the world, and now
for 2 decades
they've got 5 years worth when you think about it, because they didn't play in 2020.
Yeah.
Because Michigan couldn't answer the bell.
Well,
but the bottom line is,
sniffles.
I don't have any problem with the tradition. I mean, trying to create atmosphere.
Shake it up. Yeah.
And you go into any NFL stadium now, it's all about that. But you can't. Yeah. I guess what I haven't liked a lot, if you want my take on it, I haven't liked playlist kind of stuff that they get to from a DJ standpoint, when you could be the band playing over these last several years.
Well, that's your calling card.
What separates the NFL, what separates college football from the NFL, along with a lot of other things, although getting paid is not one of them anymore, is the fact that you got a marching band there that can play any song you want to play. It's almost like a karaoke machine. Let them really be featured, you know. But that's
take requests. Is that?
Well, yeah, that could be.
Hey.
That could be a thing you could put up on the screen. You know, we're going to play. You could have 3 choices they could put on the screen: A, B, and C, and whatever song gets the applause the loudest, that's the song they play.
Go with that.
So I think we were onto something there. Maybe we need to be on that steering committee.
No question.
Although
about
that
you
bus
got some great ideas.
That bus might careen off a road like down in Peru or something, up in the Chile, up in the mountains there.
Pure South Dakota. Are we about to? Are we ready to pivot now?
Yeah.
Or
we're going to pivot in a minute, but I wanted to ask one other quick thing. Who is your favorite for the starting quarterback job? He said.
I said
quickly dovetailing back to what we were talking about.
Quickly dovetailing to. I'm confounded. I thought Fesler would say more about Julian and his lead. Nobody wants to say anybody.
No, he's not going to do that.
I don't know. I think.
No, I'm not asking what Billy Fesler said or what Ryan Day said. I'm asking you. What you've put together.
I think it gets down to who's got the better arm, and Sayin does apparently. Though they both threw some nice 55-yard balls last week. We shall see. I'm excited about young Tavian. I thought he was an extremely engaging young man today.
Agreed.
Let's
rotate.
And he's coming to grips with the fact of all of the details that are involved in playing that position. I mean, and as you told him, what's number one? Who said that?
Walt Harris.
Walt Harris.
He'd walk into his office. Hey, by the way, this is the very first time I walked into Walt Harris's office way back when he became the quarterback coach here. Number one, he had this little sign up on the thing that said, number one, all these things a quarterback has to do, number one is get the snap. Because if you don't get the snap, everything else doesn't matter, right? But the funniest thing about that first meeting with Walt Harris, when I got to sit and talk with him, was he was playing Ticket to Ride on his little stereo.
Oh, my.
By the Carpenters.
Really?
Not the Beatles. And I just went, wow. This guy is known far and wide as running an upscale big-time passing offense, and he's playing Ticket to Ride by the Carpenters.
He's Mr. Mello.
He was Mr. Mello. That's exactly what I was getting to there. So it was pretty interesting. I like Billy Fesler a lot. I think Billy Fesler has paid his dues to be an assistant coach, to be where he is here, for example. I really enjoyed during the spring, during the Ohio State Coaches Clinic, of listening to him talk about all of the things about playing quarterback, but also delineating how, because he was in essence the assistant quarterback coach last year.
Right.
Chip Kelly was the quarterback coach, but he was also offensive coordinator. But Billy Fesler did most of the hands-on work there.
Yeah.
And just about how we're sitting here, I'm just thinking of what he said then when he was talking about how much Will Howard improved mechanically and every way else from first game to last game last year as the season progressed. In other words, what I'm trying to get the point I'm making here is this is not going to be the end product we see on August 30th of whichever quarterback gets the starting job. They're expected to be better and better, by November, definitely by December than they are now. And so what people have to be in college football, even in the NFL now, when you have a new starting quarterback, you have to be patient. They're not going to be perfect. Case in point, C.J. Stroud at Minnesota, his first starting job, and at halftime, people wanted him removed.
Remember.
At halftime of his first start, came on and played very well in the second half.
Well, you talk about Billy Fesler. What does it say about Billy Fesler as he tutored Will Howard? And look what he's doing now.
Correct.
Over in PA for the Steelers.
Correct.
His numbers are off the charts, and some of that is a little misleading. Somebody said, that's 7-on-7, that's this. No picks, like 80% completion.
Still making good decisions.
So he has taken what he learned here and has applied it, and it's played very well for one of the storied franchises in the NFL. So Will Howard was here in the spring. They talked about it, how he tutored them, gave them a little confidence. Hey, this is what it takes. I'm ready for it to unfold, but I kept looking at the calendar last night. It's only, August 5th?
Yeah, there's 20 practices left.
We still got,
20 practices left before Ohio State plays Texas.
We shall see. To be determined.
Absolutely.
TBD.
Yeah, we've been saying that all along. That's not breaking news, obviously. That's the opposite.
Right.
That is what's known as the opposite of breaking news, correct? You were in that thing for 104 years before you got out of it.
At least 30 here and many more elsewhere.
Before I grabbed you and said, "Hey, come on, Clay, let's talk a little bit."
He got me off the scrap heap.
Before we take a break from this Clay May report. Your favorite quarterback battle of the ones you've seen, just one. Don't name all of them. Name me one of your favorite quarterback battles we've seen through the past year. You going back like 25, 30 years, me going back 40 years.
Well, I go back to Joe and Stan, because even though it got crazy, in the end, they won the Rose Bowl.
Yes.
And
would have been in college football playoff if there had been one back then.
And Stan threw an 8-yard, 12-yard dart. Was it to Boston in the...
No, that was Joe Germain in the... You talking about...
No, not that one. I'm talking about early in the game.
I thought that was Demetrius Stanley. I may be wrong, but you're right.
Well,
everybody forgets that touchdown. You're exactly right.
I think it was the first of the game.
Yeah.
And later, Joe hit Demetrius.
Right. No, Well, no, Joe hit David Boston for the winner.
Correct. But I'm talking about that spurred them.
Yes.
And then Joe remember the succession of these things.
Yeah, I know you do.
Anyway, so...
one of my bad things is I interrupt. I'm going to not interrupt. Go.
I'm interrupting him, too. I don't know. That one just stands out to me because I thought at times it polarized the team, and yet in the end they made it happen.
They made it work.
And they won that son of a gun, and John Cooper said to the world, "We did win the big game."
Yeah. Yeah,
so
exactly.
With Cindy right here.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Good for them though. But that is a good one. I go back, and this happened during the spring. I thought Joe Burrow, Dwayne Haskins Jr. was about as nip and tuck as you could get, and finally it came down to, they can say what they want, but they had video evidence of Dwayne Haskins Jr. going into the game at Michigan and saving the day.
Incredible.
Which Joe Burrow did not have that piece of video.
No, that's right.
Benefiting himself. And finally, here's the point. It can be neck and neck. Finally, you have to make a decision. And that's one of the toughest decisions. Because you know what? Once you decide this is our guy, it's hard to go back and go, I was wrong. Well, we've seen that happen. We saw it happen with Urban Meyer in 2015. when Cardell Jones it just didn't click with him that following year, and they had to go back to JT Barrett as a starter. So the biggest thing is admitting when you're wrong sometimes. But I really think Julian Sayin's probably got the lead if you had to put a guy out there right now. But I really like where Lincoln Kienholz has gotten to.
No question. I was going to ask, hey, if you played Texas tomorrow, who are you starting? But they're not going to answer. So
No.
what's the point in wasting the breath?
Well,
So
yeah, if you only get one question, would that be it? That's why I asked Billy Fesler, who's your backup?
who's the backup?
But that's a oldie but a goodie, as I said.
I think you've patented that by now.
Exactly. I asked Ryan Day that at the Big Ten meetings a few years ago. It was pretty funny. He goes, I like where you went there. It's pretty clever.
Is it true if you ever actually retire that you would then do your own stand-up routine?
Yeah, I might do that. I was thinking about that, but it's hard for me to be.
But you can't do 19 minutes. You have to do it all in about 3.
It's easier for me. I have found through my life.
That.
It's easier for me to be impromptu funny than remembering jokes. But I have a few goodies. But if you came back to see me the next night, it'd be the exact same joke, so it wouldn't be funny. But anyway, I'm Tim May.
And I'm Clay Hall.
And this is the Clay May Report. We'll see you next time.